actually if they import an oil embargo, oil prices will skyrocket. And that would be disastrous for the global economy. It's not happening yet. But oil markets are wary because it will not be unprecedented if it happens. Arab states have done this before. In 1973, Arab states launched a war against Israel. They then imposed an oil embargo. As it turned out, everyone won the war. The fact is, imagine, that 50 years later, before being done, the Arab world has been dragged into yet another war. They may still be projecting unity and rallying behind Palestine, and they have their fault lines. Their support for Palestine has its limits, and those limits are showing now. Each Arab state is looking at this conflict nervously. Jordan and Egypt fear an exodus of refugees. Gulf nations fear antagonizing Iran, and Saudi Arabia fears Iranian proxies dashing out. They may all pretend that this is about the survival of Palestine, but chances are more about their own survival. One man's war is another man's opportunity. That seems to be the thinking in China right now. President Xi Jinping is hosting the Belt and Road Summit. He's trying hard to stay respectful, but West Asia is also on his mind. On Thursday, Xi Jinping met the Egyptian Prime Minister. As we mentioned, China is a key mediator, so any discussion with Egypt is important. And what did Xi tell them? Let's look at the China and China statement. One, a ceasefire. Xi Jinping says ending the fighting is a pressing priority, which means he doesn't support a ground invasion. No Western country has called for a ceasefire yet, so clearly Beijing has a different policy. And point number two, Xi Jinping called for implementing the two-state solution. He said it's the only way out of the cycle of violence. His message was later reinforced by his foreign ministry.
First of all, China is shocked by the attack on Gaza Hospital, which resulted in heavy casualties, and we strongly condemn it. China calls for an immediate ceasefire and an end to the war. Relevant parties should fulfill their obligations under international humanitarian law to their best to protect civilians and avoid humanitarian disasters.
So what is China's game plan? Starters, they do not consider Hamas as terrorists. Neither does India, but India did call the attack a terrorist attack. China did not. China's response was limited to a confrontation, and since then, starts rolling up. First, Beijing criticized Israel. They said the attack in Gaza went beyond self-defense, and now they want a ceasefire. They want Israel to stop the war. I know it seems like China's criticized, but on paper they haven't. They are technically neutral in the Israel-Hamas conflict. Just like Ukraine, China's neutral there in Ukraine, with a pro-Russia tip. In West Asia, China is neutral with a pro-Palestine. The question is why? Then one reason is the big power politics. Israel is America's closest ally in West Asia, while China's allies are on the global side. Biggest thing is Iran. So it makes sense for China to be pro-Palestine. They have tried to build relations with Israel. But every time the US intervened, Washington has pressed Israel to keep China out. They now update the US on major reimplementation of Israeli programs, meaning they effectively need America's permission to work with the Chinese. So Israel is a bet that is not paid occupation. So the outcome is this. If you back Palestine, you get favors in the Arab world. You get their political support, and China needs that. Because most Arab powers are American allies, like Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar. This could be China's chance to ride a wave in that relationship. Xi Jinping can say, look at the US and look at China. The US is helping Israel bomb Arabs, meanwhile China wants to protect them. Does that mean that Beijing would support a broader war against Israel? Maybe not, that's very important. China is the largest oil producer in the world. They buy around 10 million barrels per day. 10 million barrels of oil every day. In the war to lower oil prices will shoot up, higher prices will higher payments. Xi Jinping would not want that, especially with his economic structure. Another factor is the very global. Around 80 West Asian and North African countries have signed up. If the war is threat, BRI will look at negative. So China will be working for a peaceful settlement. In fact, sending a special envoy to his activities and clear the wrongdoing of dissident state direction. His job is to work with. Now, Beijing doesn't have to solve a cloud that America has not understood. Sometimes it's not about knowing everyone, it's about knowing the right ones. Let me say this. China is opening relations with Iran. Iran is betting on China, the global south, to beat Western sanctions, and that retreat has been long awaited. The same Iran knows the key to escalation in West Asia. If Tehran wants, it can curtail its toxins. Now, Egypt has done. They can mediate to get the hostages out. They can also send aid and support to Iran. So Beijing can play an important role in this conflict, and Xi Jinping has shown keen interest in playing peaceful. He mediated between states and
story.
Iran earlier this year. We want to find you to work on the Israel-Palestine conflict on the private hand at this early visit. The chance puts himself up. He says a win, because anywhere China is not starting to fight, the presence of
Nu moeten we nieuwsgierigheid de vrije loop gaan laten, want ik ga op
China's main geopolitical driver is up. The United States. The air President Joe Biden was in Israel yesterday. He got back early this morning. A visit that lasted 8 hours. And in those 8 hours, he held a marathon of talks with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, with Israel's wartime cabinet, and with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Basically, everyone who was ready to talk to him. Then came his speeches. Biden tried to show that he was walking a tightrope, that he was firmly behind Israel, but also cared about Palestinian civilians. And to display this, he kept focusing on one thing: humanitarian relief and aid to Gaza. And after he left Israel, Biden insisted that his talks with Israel were quote-unquote blunt.
I was very blunt about the need to support
Got some great weaponry available.
military aid to Gaza, get it to Gaza and do it quickly. Up to 20 trucks. This has been a very blunt negotiation I had. And I was, as you know, they probably told you, I was very blunt with the Israelis.
Israel, let me know how you get on.
Israel has been badly victimized, but you know, the truth is that if they have an opportunity to relieve the suffering of people who have nowhere to go, they're going to be, it's what they should do.
Kept repeating that word, blunt. He made it a point to let everyone know about his bluntness, about his insistence on getting aid to innocent Palestinians. So has the aid delivery started yet? And not yet. It's expected to begin tomorrow. And it may not last very long either, because there's a catch.
People of Gaza need food, water, medicine, shelter. Today I asked the Israeli cabinet, I've met with for some time, to agree to deliver life-saving humanitarian assistance to civilians in Gaza, based on the understanding that there will be inspections, that the aid should go to civilians, not to Hamas. Israel agreed humanitarian assistance can begin to move from Egypt to Gaza. Let me be clear, if Hamas diverts or steals the assistance, they will have demonstrated once again that they have no concern for the Palestinian people. As a practical matter, it will stop the international community from being able to provide this aid.
Hamas is doing it between Gaza, the whole Palestinians hostage, they use them as human shields, and yet we expect them to allow aid to get freely distributed. Hamas has a long history of profiteering from anything coming into Gaza. They will hold taxes and cuts, and that has made Hamas leaders limited. Are these people going to stay with the aid? It sounds like a bad deal. Hamas is not going to keep its hands off the area, meaning the U.S. and Israel will stop aid delivery soon enough and be back to square one. And Biden firmly knows that, which is why he made some other promises as well.
Today, I'm also announcing $100 million in U.S. funding for humanitarian assistance in both Gaza and the West Bank. This money will support more than 1 million.
You ever heard of the show called Closet CEO? Where some asshole billionaire pretends to be one of his broke-ass employees for a day or two. But keep thinking about that, and then think about the CEO of Gold Coast Development. This dude is a world-class asshole, union-busting, poor working conditions, corruption, intimidation, man, you name it. And check this out. Now he about to throw on some overalls and play nice for the workers on his site for the cameras. Now, full disclosure, I did some work a while ago that gave this asshole market value a boost, but that was before I heard what a piece of shit this fucker really is. So when a client came to me with a proposal to make some bills off liquidating his ass, man, I said, hell yeah. Our client gonna short the fuck out the Gold Coast Development stock, and we gonna ice this fool while he's playing construction working for this dumbass show. The stock tank, our client get rich, we get paid. And if we make it look like he died because of some unsafe conditions on his site, makes it even better.
In the meantime, if some aid, however little, does go to the innocents of Gaza, it will be a relief. If it does, as the saying, talk is cheap, especially young children. So Biden may be on Israel's side, but not everyone in the West is convinced. In fact, his own staff is not convinced. This is Josh Paul. He works for the U.S. State Department. Well, I say used to work for the U.S. State Department. Paul worked the same job for 11 years, overseeing global arms transfers for the U.S. But yesterday, he had enough. He resigned from his job. You know why? Because he did not agree with Biden's handling of the Israel-Hamas war. And he's not the only one. In Spain, a minister has spoken up. She wants Madrid to suspend relations with Israel. Our next report tells you why the West is repeatedly divided.
On October 18th, U.S. President Joe Biden landed in Israel. He hugged the Israeli Prime Minister. He promised support to Israel. Basically, Biden's visit was all about solidarity. When the attack happened, Biden said America was Israel's ally, and he wanted to talk with the media. So we know Biden came to Israel, but as a start, we should say, the U.S. State Department official's resignation letter echoes that emotion. It's a really long letter. But if there's one thing you should read, it's this. And I quote, we cannot be both against occupation and for it. We cannot be both for freedom and against it. And we cannot be better off while contributing to one that's materially worse. Strong words right there. And many in Biden's administration echo this emotion. Biden was the most identified president in history, and most have reservations about how this conflict is being handled. They may not be saying it aloud, but they feel stifled when it comes to discussing what's happening in Gaza. Several staffers across multiple agencies have raised concerns about Israel's conduct of part of their plan.
Artificial intelligence is transforming the world, posing fundamental questions. How can it benefits the while ensuring fairness, inclusion, and safety in the workplace? And how do we make sure humans stay in control? And do we have the digital skills to keep up? Join Europe's largest event dedicated to employment and social rights on the 6th and 3rd Saturdays of November. We will discuss how AI is reshaping jobs and sectors, and what this means for employers and workers.
which shape the impact of AI on the world of work.
The Biden administration isn't the only one that's divided. The Spanish government too is torn. Its social rights minister wants Madrid to suspend ties with Israel.
Today I have asked our partner, the Socialist Party, that we take ourselves more seriously in the fight against this planned genocide, which is being carried out by Israel against the Palestinian people. To do this, I believe that we should urgently suspend diplomatic relations with the State of Israel. In addition, we should promote the debate at the European level in order to apply exemplary economic sanctions against those politically responsible for this genocide.
¿Sabes políticos de este? Que no quiero.
Now, this Spanish minister's comments are very significant. You see, the West is trying to show a united front. At least the Quint is trying to show it. That's the US, Germany, France, Italy, and the UK. They're called the Quint. Biden, Sunak, and Scholz already visited Israel. Macron plans to do it in the coming days. So they may be united, but when it comes to the rest of the West, they are divided on this. Last year, the war in Ukraine exposed all lines of the world, the divide between the East and the West. This time, however, the West itself seems divided. Some of them are rooting for Israel, others for Palestine, and those stuck in the middle are hoping for humanity to prevail and the war to end.
Now let's look at what Russia is up to. It's no secret that when it comes to geopolitics, you have camps. East versus West, North versus South, and often this boils down to one thing: the US versus Russia. Washington, we look at Beijing as the biggest threat in the world right now, and with good reason, but it has always reserved its worst fire and ire for Moscow. And this plays out even when the two nations miraculously happen to be on the same page, like they are today when it comes to innocent, ordinary Palestinians. Earlier we told you about Biden and his quote-unquote blunt throats. How he's been trying to get humanitarian aid to Gaza. Turns out, Russia is doing the same.
According to the order of the President and the government of the Russian Federation, humanitarian aid is being provided to the residents of the Gaza Strip. Aviation of the Russian Emergency Ministry will deliver 27 tons of products. Humanitarian aid will be credited to representatives of the Red Crescent Society for delivery to the residents of the Gaza Strip.
There is one party to blame for the current mess, and that is Hamas. As we keep saying, Hamas is not Palestine. Both the US and Russia agree on this. Both powers want to protect innocent Palestinians. But even here, in a rare moment of consensus, they cannot agree on how to do it. So instead of coming together, Washington and Moscow are now fighting it out. Their latest battleground is a graveyard of diplomatic talk in the United Nations Security Council. Russia wanted to pass a resolution on Monday to bring about a humanitarian ceasefire, a pause in constant bombardment, so that ordinary Palestinians could flee from Gaza. So the day could go south and receive aid in peace. After all, what good is an aid south? But what happened to this Russian resolution? So you guess it got shot down. The Russians had a few choice words to share about.
We believe that today's vote in the Security Council is very demonstrative and clearly shows who are in favor of peace bombing and the provision of humanitarian assistance, and who is in favor of voting a single message from the Security Council purely selfish interests and interests.
what it takes time. Everyone is equal. Sounds boring to the outcome. Nothing quite captures the dire sentiment like the United Nations Security Council. Technically, it has 15 members, but only 5 votes really matter. If 14 members vote yes, but 1 permanent member veto